Hello, everyone. Today, I want to respond/react to a video I was tagged in by Black Women Making Money. She has amazing content that really helps a lot of Black women. Seriously, I want you to check out her channel. And surprise, I'm going to send you this so you know. Yes, I've watched some of the video, and I know it was a little month or two ago, but I want to talk about what you said. I wasn't able to join in the conversation when you had your video, but I want to respond to what you're saying. This lady up here, I had showed her video from TikTok where she went to the local area type of mall and showed the different businesses that Asians have all over the place, from the nail salon, a law office, a supermarket. And she was showing how communities are built. Okay. Showing in particularly the men, this is how a community is built. This is resources. This is how you get money. This is how you build something. It was a very, very powerful video, even though we see it all the time, but it was powerful. So you showed that as well and much more. So before I get started, these are some of the videos on her channel, Black Women Making Money. Okay. What I did this weekend. Okay. TikTok isn't paying enough. Okay. A man sues. Okay, the Fed raises rates from Goldman Sachs, the program for Black women. She has a whole lot on her channel. Make up to $250,000 as an executive assistant. California's oldest investment club for Black women. See, this is what she's putting out, and she deserves even more views than what she's getting. Okay, people talk about solutions or things to help uplift Black women. I do that, but she's doing it as well. She's showing you, okay, ways to improve your life, making money so you can live your best life. All right. Here's a picture of her. That's her right there. Ask your money questions to me. Okay. Who's scamming? Tech gurus may scam Black women. So she's also showing videos to help you not get scammed and much more. I'm telling you, there's a boatload of wonderful information on her channel. So check out Black Women Making Money. I will also have the link to her channel in the comment section. So let's get started playing her video, and I will be writing down my notes. And this is not a very short video because someone didn't want me to interrupt too much when playing the video, but I'm not just going to stay quiet. I want her to hear my opinion as if I was right there calling in on her show. So yes, I'm going to stop the video and give my opinion to what she's saying, okay? So the video, as you can see, if they won't build, then what? Then what? What is the answer? If the men won't build, then what is the answer? So let's sit back and see what she has to say, and I will also be giving my opinion as well.
Hey, ladies. Good evening to everybody.
Hey, girl.
So, I have to admit, I'm a bit nervous tonight about this topic. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. But when I started this channel, I really wanted to talk about certain things that I'm seeing online, seeing in the community, and I'm just going to put it out here tonight with regards to what I saw this video. So I put Cerebral, tagged her in here because this is where I originally saw this video. And I really wanted to talk about the lack of building. Black men aren't building. That's what's being said. And y'all know I don't black male bash on my channel. I'm here to say, okay, now what? What are we going to do as women if the men aren't building? Y'all know that I am solutions oriented. You know that I kind of focus on.
Okay, what are the women going to do if the men are not building what you continue to do? You have to do things on your own because there's no other option. I'm not living your life the best way you can. Black women are up starting businesses 200% because you have goals and dreams, and you don't stop doing that because that's what makes you happy. and continue to do your thing. Continue to do your thing. Black women have always been holding the so-called community up by the strings, and forced into a matriarch type of situation. And I say let that stress go. Just live your best life and be the best you that you can be. But as far as it's never going to work again if the women do everything and the men don't. And then they resent you for it, and then call you masculine and all that other stuff. But let's continue.
Um, what we can do as women, tonight's going to be it's going to be a bitter pill to swallow for us, um, because it's not all the men's fault. We have to be very honest. It is not all of the men's fault. Some of it is on us. Now, I'm saying they're 75% responsible. We're 25% responsible, but we have to be real about this. And I do also want to talk about some places that are building up. Um, and I might open up the phone lines for everybody tonight if I could figure out how to invite people in. So yeah, so let's just kind of jump right in. Everybody, don't forget to like the video as well. Hello, Kat. Hey, Mokomami, saying, oh, yes, I love solution oriented panels. Well, look, we're going to put some solutions in here today. We're going to have a good conversation. It is going to be from a position of power that I think we need to be in because we are Black women making money. Again, everybody, don't forget to thumbs up the video, like the video. So, what I wanted to do with tonight is, and with the whole purpose of this channel was to talk about the things that are happening with Black women and the community with regards to an economic perspective. And I want to start off talking about this woman's video. I'm going to kind of start it and stop it. We're going to have some conversations with regards to this. We're going to talk about why the community is in building, because I think that it's very important here. And it's not just blame Black men. It's not just. So look, let's jump right in. Let's get started with the video here.
Y'all wanted to know what I meant by resources and community? For those of y'all who in my comments section glitching, here it is. When I asked the Black man what resources he's built for his community for the last 40 years, this is what I mean. Asian law office, right next to it, Asian restaurant. Yes, this might be a truest bank, but all of the bank manager and the bankers in here, the people who are actually working with the people in the community are Asian. I can turn around. Right over here is another Asian restaurant. Another Asian restaurant. Community for their people. Resources for their people. Right there. Asian restaurant. Right next to the Asian restaurant is an Asian grocery store where they've built community resources for their people. Oriental market with foods for their people.
Okay, before we go into the market, look, she kept saying community, she kept saying resources, right? Hey, Cinnamon Sugar, thank you so much. Hi, Ariana. Hi, Gigi. New here. That TikTok today was absolutely right. We all see it. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we as women are going to do here. Because according to everybody online, we've been begging for 100 years, 200 years for this. So what are we going to do? Before she goes into the market, let's talk about this. So let's talk about what it took for these communities to build. And it wasn't just men in the community building, it was culture. It was culture. They have a culture of building. They have a culture of coming from their lands, coming here to the United States and saying, well, I could do it. I could make it here. They have a culture of at least the Asian community, most of the Asian community has a culture of compliance. They have a culture, if the family says, hey, we need you to be an accountant, that person goes to become an accountant.
Okay, so far what you see, she showed, look, a bank owned by Asian people, a supermarket with products from Asia, made in America too, the nail salon, all over the place, resources. And she's talking about this. She's showing black men, because I saw the video, I showed the video. This is what it looks like to build, you know, a place where your people can go, where they feel safe and, you know, that they can trust you and everything like that, and share their money with you so that you can be successful. And when you have successful businesses, you tend to have a successful community. You have money, the representatives, the government, they invest in you more. You have power. You know, people talk about, how did the Asians get those bills so fast? The Asian hate crime stuff, with a lot of black men beating up Asians and everything all over the place. That's a fact. And they got a bill passed, and people said, how did they do it so quickly? Oh, it's just because they're Asian. It's not just based on race. It's about power. Power. And money is power in this country. That's why I said it's ridiculous when people say money doesn't matter. It does, not only for you to live your best life and be able to go to the doctor, be able to have the clothing, be able to travel, have better food, better quality of life, but also to have power as a community, you know, where they want your vote and everything like that. They want to work with you. They protect you through bills because you have power, because you've been investing and building and the state up and the area up. You know, that's just a fact. Also, so it's about power, but also doing something where, you know, the community has something. I use the word community loosely for black people because, I mean, I call it black neighborhoods, just black people who dominate living somewhere. Most of the businesses in the black so-called community aren't even owned by black people. What community is there like that? I mean, you just live there. You know, there are a sprinkle of black businesses here and there. Yes, there are black women and men who try to have businesses, but as a collective, like on the Asians and Indians and stuff, it's not on that level. Okay. And black women are up again 200% with businesses. So everybody knows black women will start a business. Okay. Again, if the men aren't doing it like you, it's an imbalance. And that's why it's a disaster. Also, well, on her video, she said it's not a black man bashing. This is not bashing. What I'm about to say is just facts. Answer this in the comment section. I get tired when I hear black people whining and crying over and over. Black women are doing things, and a sprinkle of black men. How many black men have you met in your whole entire existence that said, I would like to open a supermarket? I've never met one in my life. Are there a sprinkle, very tiny, like maybe 4 or something, that have a black supermarket? Yes. Is it common? No. Where are they at? I've never met one that said, I would like to start a supermarket, going door to door telling black people, I need some money to invest in a supermarket. We're trying to get a supermarket. I've never witnessed it in my entire years of living, or a laundromat. None. Like I said before, I remember I was talking to this guy on the phone and I said, well, what about a gas station? And he said, why do I have to have a gas station if the Indians have it? Meaning I don't have to have a gas station and do all this because, well, the Indian people got that going on. They dominated, so I don't have to do it. You know, there are some here and there. I see them online talking about community this, community that, but a lot of them are just talk. They don't present a plan or present anything for anyone to invest in to start something. A number of them, you know, if I do see something, it's usually a black woman doing something, you know. So let's continue.
Some of this is cultural, right? The majority of them that come, either they are not poor or they're able to connect with other family members, do multi-generational living, things like that. So We are looking at this, in my opinion, we're looking at this without really looking at all of it in totality. I think that, you know, we as women, I'm going to kind of cut to the chase here, because, you know, starting to have you think about certain things. Some of it is on us. Yes, some of it is on the men. Absolutely. Crime is rampant. Nobody's building a market in our community if crime is all over the place. And let's be real, ladies. Some of us, it's our sons, it's our nephews. It's, oh, I don't want anybody to touch my son. I don't want anybody to touch my nephew, my cousin. Grocery stores run on a very, very small margin. And we have to be honest. If there's a whole lot of theft, the people have tried to start grocery stores in the community before. And everybody that I talk to has said that theft, the employee theft, and the theft from people in the community is so bad that they end up losing money. You cannot build in this type of culture and infrastructure.
Perfect example. What we saw recently in Chicago. And even before that, Black emotional, very emotional men and women, like little babies throwing tantrums, getting mad at a verdict or something going on. I want to protest, but I'm going to do it in my own neighborhood. I don't own Whole Foods or Walmart, or, especially Walmart where it happened, but let me go F it up. Let's go steal all the food and go loot and take everything. And then when they want to pull out, I'm going to cry like a baby because I have nowhere to eat. But then I went and stole from everything and took money from it. So what she just said, the Black people who do try to do something, the Black people keep taking money out of the business by stealing constantly. See, Black people have a huge accountability problem, and they refuse to see that they can be the devil. They always want to blame it on white people. I'm messed up because of slavery. I'm messed up because of this. It's a bunch of bullcrap. You just can't accept that perhaps there's something wrong with you. And to say it's cultural, to say we have a culture of thieves and people that F up everything. What's that really saying is there's something wrong with us as a group. We're not good people. We destroy our own shit. We're filthy. We don't know how to run nothing. And then when other people say Black people can't run a community, you can't run countries, you can't run a neighborhood, you can't function, you are defunct or inferior, then, oh, it's racism. Oh my God, they just hate us. Oh, but what are you showing? The whole world is watching, the whole country. And then you F up your own shit, which is embarrassing.
You cannot build in most Black neighborhoods because most Black neighborhoods have people who are in poverty. Now I'm going to show you some Black neighborhoods that aren't in poverty, and they have a whole different infrastructure to them. But let's be real. Let's be real.
Okay, really quick. Okay, what she just said. Basically class, which Black people are very sensitive about the reality of class. The upper bougie, as they say, boule Black people. And I hate sometimes I've been called bougie just for looking classy, acting classy, and not being a stereotype. But yes, there's a difference amongst Black people. And when you say that, or even say there needs to be a split within this race, we are not the same. I don't have to like all of you. Some of you, absolutely not. You're dragging the race down beyond repair, and there needs to be a split. Then they throw a fit when you say that. This is reality. Okay?
How many of us have lived in certain neighborhoods and we see another Black person moving in and we get excited for a second, then we're like, ooh, who's her boyfriend? Who is she going to bring into this community? Let's be honest, ladies. How many of us, if we had a community like they did in the 30s, 40s, 50s, would let people in the community discipline our children? I don't know if they do that in the Asian community, but I know that if we're talking about, you know, setting up community, and you have an 8-year-old stealing in the grocery store or stealing in some other retail establishment, can the community correct that child? We have to be honest, ladies. That's why I'm saying it's not all on the men. People have tried to build things in the community. No, it's not LeBron and them, but people who make $250,000 a year, $500,000 a year. Let's be honest. They've built things in the community and the community has destroyed it. That's part of the reason why there's nothing in the community.
Is that a lie? They praise Nipsey Hussle, who also said that black women were an embarrassment to the black race, which is why I don't know why so many black women to this day have his picture all over their Instagram. It's weird to me. But anyway, he said that. Well, he stayed in the black area and his clothes were very expensive. His sweatshirts, I don't know if they went up in price after he died, but from what I saw, it was very expensive for black poor areas. But anyway, he stayed and he lost his life. He ended up dead, getting shot by who? A black man, Nipsey Hussle. And a lot of rich black people will not say this because they always get canceled. They're quick to get canceled or called a coon or something for telling the truth. You know, so on one end, you want the black people with resources to invest, because I've mentioned that before, but also there's no correction of filthy culture and bad people, you know? So, and then you invest only for those same people, your people, to steal from you and make your company lose money, which is bad for business. And then you pull out or you don't want to live around them. I have a high chance of getting robbed. And then they think you're white, you think you're this, you don't come back. Well, there's good reasons for that. If it were safe to do so for a number of well-off black people, they would, you know? But you know what? Even the well-off ones want to cower. They want to get on TV and start lying and bring up white people, even them, instead of telling the damn truth to a number of black people about what's really going on. You know, and they always blame the mentality on white supremacy and oppression. It's funny. You know, you really don't think they would steal from you if, okay. I don't know. There is something called character traits. Plenty of well-off people are also evil. It's a mentality. Plenty of well-off people steal from people too. It happens. It's all about a mentality. And this is why the black community can't get to where it is, because there are severe differences in mentality. Like those black women who were on camera eating all the food out of Walmart and laughing and putting it on TV. Yet when their babies need food and Walmart pulls out and your man don't build you a supermarket, who you gotta run to? Like I said, mentality.
I might lose some subscribers tonight, but you know what? It's gotta be said, and I'm just gonna have to say a part of it. Cinnamon Sugar saying it's sad because Black American women were the most married at one time in America. I was shocked when I learned of the Wives Club. Yeah. Now, part of it is, you know, how happy were those marriages? I remember my great grandmother being divorced and she never really talked about her husband, but, you know, apparently he was a mess. Marie is looking. Marie is saying this is the truth. Like, we have to be honest, ladies. Another thing, let's say we were to pull our resources together. Do we have the politics in place? Do we have political action committees? Do we know what we want?
No.
Do we have an agenda?
No.
Because we could see the Asian hate crime bill that came because what? Not because they have a lot of numbers, but because they have the economics. We aren't making enough money in the community.
What did I say earlier? I didn't even hear this part. What did I say? Money, power. to get laws, to get taken seriously by your representatives and your local state government and everything like that. A lot of Black people get caught up thinking everything is about race. And it's true, racism, I'm not going to deny, racism does exist. Yes, the barriers do exist. Their competition does exist. But also, at the end of the day, for a lot of people, it all comes down to money. Money trumps everything for a lot of people.
We haven't bought off the politicians. We haven't done the things that are necessary in order to have these types of physical communities. And I know it's not a popular discussion, but it is the truth. We also don't have trust in each other. We don't trust each other.
You can't. Personally, I do get annoyed, not by you, Black woman making money, but a lot of Black people say this online. I see it all the time on TikTok and stuff. We don't trust each other. No, I can't trust you. You've proven you can't be trusted completely. I can choose to trust you, but can I trust you 100%? Most Black people have been effed over by their own people. Ask who did you the dirtiest, who made you feel like crap the most, who did this to you. It's other Black people a good number of times. No, I can't trust all of you. So, no. Some, yes, you can take a risk, give somebody a chance. But the proof is, come on now, we know we can't. You can't even trust a lot of Black women. That's the truth.
I'll be one of the first people to say it. There are very few Black people that I trust in terms of us having a community. So we have to be honest about that. I see the chat is quiet tonight. If we were Black male bashing, that'd be one thing. And I'm not saying this is all about women. Like I said, 75% men, 25% women. But we have to be honest about where we are and why things are not being built. And in order for things to be built, we need to level up our income and we need to put the resources in. And everybody who lives around us needs to be a homeowner and needs to have something to lose before we can build the market and have the law office and the dental office and things like that in a physical community. If somebody else has another solution, I definitely will listen to it. But I haven't seen one. Let's continue with the video.
Let's go inside.
I have to say, I don't, like I said, I use the word community loosely. I don't have some community of Black people I get to talk to besides you, my community here on YouTube. There's no local Black paper of let's meet up here and we're going to discuss that. We're just thrown to the wind. We're scattered around the US. We're scattered around the place. We don't have clubs or some type of community event. We don't have places. I mean, Atlanta, parts of DC and Maryland. Okay. You know, you can find some well-known Black areas that's doing good and stuff. But overall, no, there's no Black community where I live of who I can speak to and we get together and talk about plans and doing this. No, you know, like I said, the way I give back is when I promote Black businesses here on my channel. I feel that's a way of giving back and helping a Black person who's trying to get their business off the ground and everything like that. But overall, we like I said, we're not like the Amish or something. You know what I'm saying? We're scattered around the US. You have the 5%ers versus the Nation of Islam versus the Hebrew Israelites versus the Christians versus the spiritual African spirituality people versus the atheists versus do we eat again an alkaline diet or do we can't eat pork? Oh, your diet is this, your diet is that. Oh, you're supposed to do only natural this and no to medicine. Oh, the white man's a Neanderthal. You a devil if you be friends and talk to them. Oh, you friends with white people now? You think you white now? Oh, you made money and got out the hood. You think you white? You bougie? Oh, you forgot where you came from? Or oh, she don't f with us. She thinks she better because she think we too ghetto. Or you ain't hood enough. You ain't got that Black girl ass. It's just we're not the same. No one is the same. So we need to accept that first, because that's the big problem with Black people. I do not have to think like you. I don't have to eat the way you do. I don't have to follow the same religion you do. I don't have to feel the way you do about white people and other races, especially when you will be doing business with other races because you don't produce anything. Reality 101, you know? So Black people need to start learning. We can't all get along. We can't, I mean, it would be great. We can't all agree, accept it, get with people like-minded like you. But at the end of the day, could you still come together to support each other in business and something that betters someone's life and advances the race? And accept differences. I had some guy bothered just the other day because of the rock music I play. Yes, yes, baby. All Black women don't listen to just R&B and hip hop. Yes, I like some rock music. He said, don't no Black woman listen to this. I'm like, well, you just heard it here. Stop stereotyping me or thinking you know what I'm supposed to listen to. It's, Black people also are going to have to learn to stop being so damn emotional. You're emotional in politics. You're emotional in business. Everyone knows what you're thinking. You're always whining in public and telling your so-called enemies what you think of them, but yet you need to them. Not strategic and too emotional, instead of using logic and putting it aside for the betterment of something. Let's continue.
Guess what their people can do? Come in here and get Asian food.
Their people can also work in there as well. They've created jobs. Imagine that was soul food. Now we got to have some healthy soul food, ladies, but
Community. These are the things that we used to have in our community. We used to have our own fish markets. We used to have our own meat markets. Again, why y'all glitching? Why y'all in the comments fighting? I just need to know. Answer the question.
and what's happening is a lot of Asians, let's be real, coming into our communities, setting up shop, and then going to their communities in order to spend the money. One of the things I'm going to talk about tonight is there's the greatest wealth transfer is about to happen. $30 trillion is about to be transferred from the baby boomers to Gen Z and millennials. Are we going to be in position to capture any of that? And keep going.
Not really.
I'm going to get me some longanisa while I'm in here. If you know, you know. Whole entire grocery store with goods and resources that was sourced from their people working together as a cooperative.
Now, keep that word cooperative in mind, because that's the big thing. I'm going to talk about some Black families that got together to put together their cooperative. Also, their people own their supply chains.
I just want to say something really quick. When she just showed in the video that the products are also sourced from Asia and stuff like that. Again, how many Black people from America make flour, make all types of sauces? And I mean, it's there. I've seen them in the supermarket, but produce it. And y'all get what I'm saying? Let me say, the Black-owned supermarkets I have seen are owned by Africans, straight up from Africa, that live in America. You know, if you go to, let's say, New York, it's common. You might see it in certain parts of the city, African supermarkets, but the food they have in there, a lot of Black people, American Black people, don't all eat. Some of it is, some stuff, everyone likes the vegetables and stuff like that. But, you see fufu, the fufu flour. That's what they eat, a number of them, fufu. You see cornstarch. You see all types of stuff. So I have to give a shout out. Yes, we've talked about Africa and the Chinese taking over and stuff and all that stuff we've talked about. But I will say that when it does come to the black people that I do see having a supermarket, a number of them have been African. Okay. They're taking over parts of New York. Seriously, with markets and everything and art shops and so much more than you say African American people. Okay. And I think it would be I mean, if a black American, I guess it doesn't matter ethnicity, but a black American, that's who a lot of these videos are about, American black people, building and everything. You could start a local supermarket. You can have flour from African people here in the U.S. who imported it from Africa or the Caribbean, Jamaica, Trinidad, and all that stuff. Those products. Or the American black people who do have products. I've shown them on my channel. I just saw a black couple who has their own canned vegetable brand. I've shown black men and women who have syrup and pancake mix. There's a black woman with a biscuit brand that's sold in Walmart. Okay, they're out here. Not an extreme amount, but they exist. And if you start a local supermarket, maybe you can buy wholesale or in bulk from them and sell it in your store. Or if there are any local black farmers, which is not always common, but if there were, you can get your fresh vegetables from them and put it in your store. Okay. Stuff like that. It's possible, but you would still have some products, I'm sure, not just only black owned, like your meats and stuff, your steaks, your chicken, your fish and stuff like that. Okay. Also, I want to say there are a lot of black people who will see the video and say, yeah, we used to have black owned supermarkets, but we thought the white man's ice or drink was colder or whatever. I hate when I hear that because it's a bull crap cop out. Okay. Stop blaming white people. Just because you integrate, nobody told you to stop buying from black business owners. You chose to do that and you lost your shit. That's your fault and your L to take. White people ain't got nothing to do with where you spend your money. That was your choice to prioritize their businesses over yours. And maybe they did have better quality stuff sometimes. They had more money. The more money, the better quality stuff you can get sometimes. But that didn't mean you had to completely stop shopping at black-owned supermarkets. Not only that, some of the black-owned supermarkets overcharge too much. Why would you try to charge me $5 for a bottle of ketchup that costs $1.50 at any other supermarket? That's a problem to me. Okay? But also, yeah, I would love to see more soul food buffets and restaurants because I'm telling you, I'm sorry to say this, soul food is falling off. At least, I don't know what's going on if the older people are slacking teaching the skills to the new generation. But if you can cook and throw down, you can make some money. I do know that there are some black women I've seen who sell food plates, okay? And that's a way to make some extra money or whatever. But all you need to do, have your product, your food. You have to keep up when they come to inspect. Make sure you're following all the rules. The temperature of the food is right and all that other stuff. Have your materials and, sell that damn good food. Okay. Have a buffet. The Chinese people do it, and it's not uncommon to see the Asian people, their children working at the register, like at 10 years old. I've seen it. And yeah, when you look at this, I wonder, because Asian people don't all like each other. No, they don't. Vietnamese people don't all like Chinese, or Chinese people don't all like Japanese or the Thai and stuff. Oh, they got beef. South Asians versus East Asians versus North Asians. I've heard all about it. But I wonder, do they put that all aside and do they still invest with other local Asians around the neighborhood? Like, okay, you Thai, you Vietnamese, I'm Chinese. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we're going to get this money as Asians, as a race of Asians and stuff. And do they all help each other out? Because I'm sure not all those products might be by the same ethnic group of Asians in the store. Like maybe a Chinese group owns the supermarket. Maybe some of those products are from the Japanese or the Thai and stuff like that.
Could we source stuff from Africa if we wanted to, bring it here, put it into our grocery stores? Africa's a mess. I'll say it. I was in a meeting with a high African diplomat, and some Black American men. This is high level people. The Black African who wasn't at the tippy top, he was, but he was a diplomat, was begging Black American men to come to Africa, invest, buy up stuff before the Chinese came in. This was early 2000s when I was in that meeting. Let's keep going.
That's very interesting that she just said that. She said that the African guy, sort of high up, begged Black American men to come to Africa and buy up stuff before the Chinese get to it. Why don't African men keep the Chinese from buying up all their stuff? I'm a little confused. Don't get me wrong. I said it years ago. Africa is the last stand. Africa is one of the most undeveloped continents on the planet. You can make a killing and become rich with the right idea and with the money. And a lot of the people who have gotten rich in Africa are not Black. They know what to do. They know how to do it. And there are most of the Black billionaires in the whole world, and there's only like 11 or 13, which is not a lot, are African. But even the billionaires of Africa cannot seem to get all of Africa together with what they got. But anyway, they made their money, some of them with a cement or concrete business or flour and stuff like that. Everybody gets everything from China. Around the whole globe, you can't beat the prices. Could you go to Africa buying stuff from China and then resell it in Africa? I don't know, being that the local people tend to not have any money in Africa. How are you going to make money when the people around you have none to buy anything from you at large? I don't know, but it is possible. Not all of Africa is completely terrible. I mean, there are parts that's okay, that's trying, I'm not going to say there aren't any people doing their thing in parts of Africa. Okay. But as a whole and huge numbers, I mean, we've predicted what's going to happen with the Chinese in Africa. The Chinese are buying up land, and they're also getting wives like in Uganda and getting rights even more to the land because they're married to African women. So they're strategic. They also do need wives because there's an imbalance in China. The women are benefiting because their men are business owners and giving them probably a better life. They're having Blasian children who will probably marry other Africans. And that's nothing new, actually, in parts of Africa, in some parts of Africa. But they're not stupid at all, the Chinese, on what's going on. And this is a global community again. You're not going to escape China. And like she said, the men are glitching. Stop worrying about somebody's eyelash that comes off within 5 hours or somebody's nails that comes off in 2 weeks. Everything comes from China at large in this whole country. There's no escaping it. So what you need to do is get smart on how to do business. Okay, instead of worrying about little shit. People are surpassing and you worrying about somebody's extra added hair on their head. Or she went and got a lash on her eyes. You ain't got nothing more bigger and important to worry about? And believe me, they don't complain when it looks good. But anyway, let's continue with this video.
Fruits.
Do we have urban farms? Do we own urban farms? Let's keep going.
Vegetables. Y'all see all that? This is what they've done to build community for their people. Community resources for their people.
All right. That was the video that sparked this whole thing. That was the video that sparked this whole thing. I'm like, I got to talk about this tonight. Our Arena is saying they buy out the whole strip mall. Absolutely. But guess what, Black women? We could do that too. Who says we can't do that?
You know what? My mother said this years ago, and it's so true. Black people have money. Okay? Black men spend $400 on Jordans, on on stuff. Okay? Even a drug dealer got money. I'm not saying I support the drug life, But how they make all that money and they still didn't build nothing through all that drug money, when you hear about them making millions and all this stuff, but yet it's like what Mansa Musa in Africa. He was the richest black man in Africa in history, the richest man in history, yet your country still is, what you do? Anyway, again, this is not a bash, it's just the truth. But it's true. If all black women, and I believe look, one thing I have seen, black women will do something. You know, I see the men getting mad on a recent video. They started Black Girl Magic. Why you hating so much? Go start your own shit. Why do you always need a black woman to start something for you, to think for you, to do that? Why can't you jump up as the head and the leader and do it your damn self and get with the men? Why it always got to be a woman, the black woman involved? And then you say masculine, and then if black women want to sit down and not contribute, as you say, it's just whatever. But black women, if black women said, you know what, I need every black woman, I got this GoFundMe or something, I need $5, y'all, we about to do this. I guarantee you, I can see black women doing it. $5 each, with 20 million of us giving them $5 each for this shit, whatever the project is. You know how much money that turns into? $1 from over 45 to 50 million black people that live here. That's $50 million in a day or a week. They raised money. Was it for George Floyd or that young teenage guy that got shot by the neighbor, or he went to the wrong house and they raised money? Everybody knows you could. It's about being strategic and having a plan. But no plan has been presented. I mean, Umar Johnson had the plan for the school. He got a hell of a lot of money. They believed and gave all that money. The school hasn't been built yet. But it shows that when black people really want something and got a real desire for something, it can happen.
Says we can't own that whole strip mall. You did see that it was a very clean market, though. That means we would have to have people that come in there that respect, not littering and all of that. But yeah, Mary's saying black women cannot wait on the men. We have to move forward. I'm working with a group of black women to build affordable housing. We own the construction, another does contracts, and we are the lender. It's all women. Congratulations, Mary. And one of my points was for tonight was you cannot afford to wait. Everybody like the video, please. Share. Like the video.
Listen, other races of men and women, but especially other races of men, don't think they're not observing this. That's why that Goldman Sachs thing happened, because they knew where the money's at. Who's more likely to start a business and pay back that loan? Who can stay employed? Who's the go-getter? Who's going to do it? And listen, I know there are some black men who do try and who are doing things way more successful than a number of us. They're out here, just not in comparison to black women. I mean, 70% of the black women with the PhDs or doctorates or something, I just read, all black women. I've seen the videos of TikTok of the next generation of doctors and their white coats, damn near 90% in the room, all black women. I was proud of them, but I also was sad when I saw it. I said, look at this shit. A bunch of fucking women. I'm proud of them. Do your damn thing. Make your damn money. But I also said, where the fuck? This is not a monetized video. Where the hell are the men? What is going on? And then when, like Ebony said, we're going to be a permanent underclass if this shit don't get fixed. Oh, you're a classist, Ebony. Oh, you need to be quiet. Ain't nothing wrong with making $36,000 to support a whole family. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's the problem. Like I said earlier, mentality. But it's going to be what it's going to be with black people. It's going to be what it's going to be. But other groups of men are observing. And it's not a good look, honestly. I mean, it's good where they see, because a lot of communities do respect hard workers, but women, seeing the black woman always working like a man, lifting heavy stuff at factories, she got to. Everyone could see it. Working hard. That Indian man said in that video, every time I go to the hospital, who I see with the black woman, her kids or somebody, but not a man. And the men are going to turn around and say, you're not feminine enough. You can't keep this and that. How you going to build something with a group of men that don't even want to marry your ass? Like I said, build with a boyfriend that might dump me, or they got 5 other baby mamas what? And they not even presenting nothing to build, so-called build with at large. This is facts. You know, a lot of Black women feel afraid because Black men they've proven to be very treacherous and untrustworthy. You gonna build and do all this just so he can leave you for a white woman or something else. That don't always happen. Or he'll just be effing multiple other beautiful Black women like you. You know? There's no payoff for the loyalty. Nothing but treachery and betrayal by a number of them. And high risk. A number of them refuse to get married. They're dragging Black women for filth all over the internet. So how you going to build something with a group of men like this who don't even seem to like you like that? Like I said, the answer is correction through your children. That's the only solution at this point. Either date different groups of men or date the decent Black men you do end up blessed enough to find, or that find you. But there's not enough. Or the kids you got, you better change their mentality and culture, which I don't see happening for a number of Black women. I just saw a Black woman yesterday on TikTok talking about, I'm not raising my son to pay your daughter's bills. Yes, y'all. She said, I'm not paying my son to do nothing for your daughters. He ain't married to her. He ain't doing nothing. I ain't raising my son like that. I said, you see, and like she said in this video, it ain't all the men's fault. We got a lot of mentally ill Black women who don't understand as well about strategy, about the man heading and leading, taking care of, courting. You got a number of them training their sons not to do what he should do for the right woman, you know? So it is a mess. I suggest Black women only get with like-minded Black women because not all of them can come. They're not all your friend, and their mentality is too toxic to culturally blend with, to join with. They will help create the disaster. The continued disaster.
Video. Can't afford to wait. You'll be waiting forever. I'm here to say I don't have faith. Cinnamon Sugar saying that's amazing. To Mary, congratulations. Mary saying we've tried to partner with men, but they are too focused on chasing tail and appearing successful than really putting in the work. Well, look, we don't blackmail bash here, but let me, because I'm just feeling this tonight, so I might as well say everything I have to say in this video. With the amount of Passport Bros videos that I'm seeing, I think it's sad that the men, and I saw this one Passport Bro, I don't watch too many of them because I don't have the time, but I saw this one Passport Bro meeting with the men that looked to me like professional men. One of them had a fancy suit on, you know, the others all looked like professional men saying, we're going to the Dominican Republic. And I thought, well, that's very interesting. So you're basically taking money from here. Wealth, we're only at 1.5%. We only own, as a people, 1.5% of the wealth in this country. When we got out of slavery, we were at 0.5%. So in however many years since slavery ended, 200 years, we've only increased our wealth by 1%, and yet we have people going to foreign countries to spend their wealth there.
They don't care about no community. A number of them have said on my channel, it is no Black community, it's the Black woman's community. AKA, we've surrendered, we give you the full control, but then we're going to call you a man, and we're going to stereotype every Black woman and leave. Listen, they have been traveling to other countries. I have the book, Don't Blame It on Rio. Brazil used to be the choice. Now they're saying Brazilian women want them to provide more and they're turning American. So now they switched up and now they promote going to Colombia and the Dominican Republic. They don't promote going to Haiti or Africa. because a number of them are prejudiced and racist. They don't like how a lot of more Negroid, and we know that there's not one look to black women, but we know, you know what I'm talking about. They don't like that look amongst a significant number of black women. Okay, that's why they go to the Dominican Republic. It's not because they're all searching just for a wife. Half of them don't get married. They run through them, but they just want to be able to run through the woman that they find more physically desirable to them. And yes, black women, we have diversity. We look different, but a number of them are in fact prejudiced and racist groups of men. It was never all about building or any of that. The Filipinos, the Dominican women, they're doing the same behavior they did over here, except they feel, I just like what I'm looking at a little bit more. Plus, she's still cooking and doing and just shutting up, you know. So that's what a number of that is about for a number of them. And even when they're with black women in America, no matter how pretty you are to them, because every man is different on what he likes, the behavior remains the same with the number of them. It always moves. They were on the white woman for years and years and years. It was all about the white woman. First, they said, I'm getting the white man back for slavery. I heard that when I was little. Then it moved to, well, she shuts up and listens. Then it moved to, well, her hair texture is more real. Then it moved to, well, you're too independent now. Then it moved to, F that, we need to go to Colombia now and Brazil and stuff. It keeps moving. They don't want to be here. They don't want to build shit. They don't have that mentality. No, a number of them. They don't see themselves as a team player with you. Only when it's time for you to march on their behalf, scream like a man in front of the white man's face and act like his security guard and risk getting beat by police officers, all in the name of him. Then when you go missing and when you get raped or whatever, there's crickets for you. They see you as a lapdog, sort of a doormat, someone who likes abuse and who values his life more than your own, and who can be used for the betterment of him so he can finally feel like a king and have the freedom to F every race of woman he wants, spread his seed amongst every woman, be the envy of the world and be worshiped by everyone while you get the shit end of the stick with no loyalty or no high importance, which is historically accurate. Even during prostitution times and slavery, they would still price white women higher than you. They just want you to be a breeder. And if they think you're pretty, yeah, you can, they find as attractive, they might wife you up. And he'll still do exactly what he wants to do, a number of them. That's why they get angry when R. Kelly goes to jail and bring up Epstein, because they get tired of their dirt having to be accountable. How dare you bring up that I raped that 10-year-old? Epstein or one of them did it. Why I have to go to jail? He just wants the power to do what the white man does. And I don't support horrible things without anyone saying anything. He wants full dominance and control. And history has proven he will sell you into slavery, which he did just to get a piece of the pie. And then he came up short and got fucked over and didn't win anything in the game of slavery. And now look at the whole fucking race because of their dumbass decisions that has literally caused severe damage to the whole black race everywhere we are, because of what they did. They fucked up the race. I've said that before and I mean that shit. And I am pissed about it when I think about it, So now people are working on a recovery. There's no war to win. The war has been lost hundreds of years ago. If you don't know or see it, you are insane. Now it's time to recover and to function in this society that we're in. Because if you don't, the race will be over or a permanent underclass. That's just facts. And also learning to get allies. And if you hate someone so much because they're not black, it would be in your best interest, if you're especially doing business, if you would stop publicly saying this so much, as you do need them. Let's continue. I mean, unless you're going to start producing your own stuff and distributing and manufacturing, then you can talk. When you can talk when you have your own and you don't need someone. But if you do, it's not in it's not smart to F up relationships. And you shouldn't just use someone, you know what I'm saying? But there are plenty of people who don't get along and have histories with other groups of people around the world that weren't great with wars and all this types of stuff. And they learn to do business because people, they need to feed their community and to rise up. Okay? Not be so emotional as men constantly, whining constantly, talking of, let's continue.
It's a damn shame. Can't wait on these men. Also, ladies, let's be real. We spend, based on what I'm seeing, I'm not telling you to not buy Louis and Gucci and Chanel, but we need to divert some of our resources as well. If we're going to have a real conversation about this. Mary's getting all sorts of accolades. Flowing Water is saying hello. Hello, Flowing Water. Stephanie is saying sharing video now. How can we get in touch with Mary to help? I'm sure Mary will tell you. SMH. Yeah, Arena. I'm just, this is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Put a 1 in the chat if you have hope. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't. You don't believe this is going to happen. 1 in the chat if you have hope that we can build a community together. 2 in the chat if
there's always hope. There's always hope in life. Personally, I don't believe in my lifetime I will see it. For the race to get to where it needs to be, I think it would take about 200 years just to fix the mentality and to get on a certain page culturally, splitting from the trash, calling the trash out, shaming the trash, not associating with the trash, which a lot of Black people are against. I predict maybe a good 50 years of the mental health, 50 years. Then you move on to the next stage, and then the next stage, and then the next stage. Mentality, marriages, intact families. If you do polygamy, whatever you feel is going to happen anyway, but do it right and correct with a man who can provide and don't have the women out there slaving away. Whatever. Something that works. I would say a good 200 years, maybe 300.
or 3 in the chat if you think only if Black women do it, but with caveats, I see a 1 here. So you think we can do it? I'm seeing 1s. I'm seeing a 2. Mocha Mommy's here. I'm seeing a 3. Only if Black women do it. 3. Well, let's talk about some Black women that are doing it. Let's talk about some Black women that are doing it. Does anybody remember this story here? 19 families buy nearly 97 acres of land in Georgia to create a city safe for Black people.
I remember.
Y'all remember this story?
Black women.
Let's see what CNN showed about them.
At least that's what I recall. I could be wrong.
You hear that? That is the sound of freedom. A lush and rugged expanse about 130 miles south of Atlanta, just shy of 97 acres. It's undeveloped, unincorporated, and it has new owners.
It feels amazing. It feels really amazing. I cry every time I come here.
Black women, y'all. Black women. This is Renee. Let's keep going.
Renee Walters is one of them. She's president of the Freedom Georgia Initiative. It's a collective of 19 Black families who recently bought this land. This dream all started a few weeks ago during Renee's typical morning call with her friend Ashley Scott.
Black women, y'all. Now, in full transparency, I was able to interview Ashley Scott. So, wonderful woman. They ended up buying another 500 acres. I think they own 500 acres total now. These women are doing it.
Wow.
But guess what? They had the resources, they had the ability, they had the vision to be able to do this. Let's keep going.
She said, Ashley, did you see the article about Toomsboro for sale?
It turns out that the entire small town was never for sale, just a bundle of a few dozen homes and buildings. So Ashley, a real estate agent, looked for listings in the area and found one for this.
And it was just such a beautiful piece of land. It was affordable, and it just made sense that we could create something that would be amazing for our families.
Why were these two women interested in the prospect of buying a town in the first place?
It really was when we saw what happened with Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and the protests.
We both have Black husbands, we both have Black sons, and I was starting to get overwhelmed and have a sense of anxiety when my husband would leave the house to go to work.
So watching our people protesting in the streets.
Interesting. I'm not going to bash her. I think that she's amazing for what they're doing, but it's interesting to me when, again, you hear the always identifying with Black men. And don't get me wrong, you love your husband, of course, and your children, but it's never this sense of urgency when it's Black women being killed all over the place, which happens more than Black men a lot. I mean, it's amazing to me, the Black man, George and all them. There was a girl who was just shot the other week in the head. No one talked about it. The absolute disgust in little value a Black girl and woman's life has in the Black community is truly disgusting to me. No one cares. It's always about the Black man's life. Don't get me wrong. If something was to happen to my brother, I would lose my mind. Okay? But it's just amazing to me. Absolutely amazing. But let's continue.
While it is important, and I want people to stay out in the streets bringing attention to the injustices of Black people, we needed to create a space and a place where we could be a village again, a tribe again.
Oh, the butterflies.
So Renee.
Okay, so look, that's what they did. Two women got together and said, hey, we're about to do this. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you believe they're going to have a grocery store on these 500 acres? Put a 5 for yes or a 6 for no. Do you believe they're going to have a grocery store on these 500 acres?
It's possible, but not really. Who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us. The reason I say this, I mean, okay, you have the families, but who's going to build it? Where's the food coming from? You can't just have vegetables in there. Where are your products coming from? Who's cutting up the meat, inspecting the meat to make sure it's good meat to eat, and all of that? I believe anything is possible, but what will be there besides houses and stuff like that? What kind of businesses will be there? And who's going to run them? Are there going to be mostly Black women? And again, this shows BLM was started by Black women. This started by Black women. It's always the Black woman. We need we got to bring always this fight for this togetherness while the men are fighting to not be with you. A number of them. I mean, they talk a good game, but I don't see any action from a number of them as a collective, but I applaud them still for trying to do something, a community and somewhere nice to live, nice houses and all that. I don't know. We need an update later to see how it looks and everything like that. Who knows what might happen, right?
5 for yes, 6 for no. They can invest in their own grocery store being built there. They can invest in having their own offices on these 500 acres. Because they're pulling their resources together, they are going to be able to have these things. But here's the thing, you have to start with resources. So part of what I wanted to say tonight is with the topic of the evening being, if they don't build, then what? Is we're going to have to figure out how to get more resources and how to deploy them in ways like this. Yeah, Happy, Rich, and Pretty saying grow the food and sell it. Yeah, they have land to be able to do that.
That is a good idea.
Nia's here. Hello, Nia. Mokomami saying, I wish them all the best moving forward. Yeah. Now they just so happen to have husbands and sons, but when I talk to Ashley, the two women are running everything. They're pulling together everything for this collective. And I'm not saying anything against their husbands. But again, when I talked to Ashley, when I interviewed her, they are putting this together. The women are doing it. Stephanie is saying they should start with Home Depot small homes on the land in addition to boxables and seeking investors for services. Yeah. And see, here's the thing. I would invest in something like this. Why would I invest? Because I know those 19 families put their money in. And if I were to invest in something on that land, it's not going to get destroyed and messed up, most likely. But these are the types of things that we need to do if we want to have this. This is a very mean thing to say, but you can't bring everybody with you. You just can't. If people are going to have poverty habits, poverty mindsets, they're going to destroy everything that's around. I'm sorry, you just can't have it.
Shout out to Mocha Mommy, Miss Mocha Mommy over there. Yeah, that is true. A farmer's market is a great business idea, growing all that food. They can even have a section for a flea market where they charge everyone, a vendor, to be on their land, selling products, maybe black people, a group of black people who want to sell their items, maybe on every Saturday and Sunday, a section with the flea market, you know? So, you can even build tiny homes on the land for people who want to rent a tiny house. A little section over there. 500 acres is a hell of a lot. So you have a lot of room to do a whole lot. So yeah, there are a lot of things that they can do. Yes.
And that's where the trust factor and lack of trust factor comes in. Mokomami is saying, I can see something starting like a farmer's market or an Azure Start standard drop point. I could. Nia saying they should definitely grow food. They probably will. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to grow their own food. And these days, I'll show you ladies at another point. There's urban food as well, where you're able to grow food indoors. So you're able to grow all sorts of food and set the climate indoors. So you don't even have to be outside and depend on the rain and everything.
And I just want to say I'm not going to knock them at all because these are a group of black people. You know how people say you just talk and talk. They didn't talk, they did. And who knows what the future can have. I hope everything works out for them where they have a functioning community and businesses of their own and everything flourishes for them because they had a vision and a dream and they were like-minded and they're doing their thing together and maybe they'll get more people who want to grow it with them. I wish them well that it all works out for them, seriously.
Is your interview with her on your channel? It's on another channel. So I'll try to remember once we get off to put it in the comments for y'all to see it. The tiny homes are a good idea. I'd invest too. Yeah, I want to invest with people who have put money in and have something to lose. Farmers market is going to make sense. I dream of an all-women type of community. So, Nia, let's talk about that.
I don't want to live around only women. I've heard of that. Unless I'm a lesbian, that's not going to work for me. I mean, most women would have a husband, hopefully, right? Or whatever you got going on, arrangement, and you're going to have children. Unless I just want to be left alone or I'm a lesbian, I'm not living around only women. I want to live in a safe place, yes, with men who don't F up neighborhoods and stuff like that, of course. And, I do think an all community of women is probably way more safer and maybe more peaceful. Then again, we don't always get along as women, but would that work for my entire life? Of course not. If I desire and want a man and children.
With the all women type of community, suppose a woman has sons. Suppose she gets a boyfriend. What are you going to do? What are the requirements for all of the women? I'm not saying it's not possible. I'd be very interested in hearing what are some of your thoughts with regards to that. What kind of rules and regulations would you have? So, uh, Mocha Mommy saying stores like True Value have franchise opportunities for building supplies. Cool. Nia's saying she's going to remind me. Yeah, please do remind me. I'm also married with 2 kids, so there's that. Yeah. So, you may want to have an all women type of community, but who knows? Like if you have a husband, if somebody else has a husband, and let's say it's a producing husband, if the husband isn't producing, that's one thing, right? But we have to be honest with all of these things. Um, we can't wait on the men, though. Just like these women, Ashley and Renee didn't wait on the men either. They put it together and then just asked for the probably they asked for the money from their husbands to they may have had their own money too. So I want to show you a couple of other things here this evening. So let's go to this.
Okay, let's see.
Let's say you don't want to build. You want to walk into something that's already built. Well, here are the 12 richest Black communities in America. Let's see what they are.
I guarantee you Maryland is on the list. That area, DMV area.
Because one of the things they say in here is that while shows and movies only show poverty, that's not it. And there are Black communities out there that are wealthy and flourishing. So one community is Friendly, Maryland. Friendly, Maryland. So let's see here. It's located outside of Washington, D.C., has just under 10,000 people in Prince George's County. The city is approximately 5 square miles. And the townhomes median are around 328K. This was as of last year, so it's probably gone up. Unemployment of 5.9%. They have 108 businesses and about 70% of their population is in the workforce. So they probably have 30% that are owners of government contract firms if they're in the DC area. Now, this is what I like here. 90.8% of the homes are owned. If we want to see places that are built for Black people, I believe that there needs to be home ownership. If the majority of the homes are rented, that's not a good thing. Number 2 is Windsor Hills, California. So this is 11,000 people living in the community. This is in the western region of the country. The demographics are predominantly Black with white and Asian professionals. 84% are Black. Home value is $812K. And 70% of the homes are owned. Next is Woodmore, Maryland.
Was I right? Did I not say DMV area? I knew it. Okay.
Woodmore is probably one of the most affluent on the list. It's in Prince George's County. Median home is $444,000. Again, these numbers are a little old. And 94% of the population homeowners, only 6% are renting. Mitchellville, Maryland. Now, I do know Mitchellville is also in Prince George's County. Notice the Washington, D.C. theme to all of this. Average home is $350,000. This is in the northern part of Prince George's County. So this is where a lot of the affluent Black people live. 91.5% of homes are owned. People have a whole different mentality when they own their homes. Baldwin Hills, California.
Yeah, I remember Baldwin Hills. Remember on BET? Baldwin Hills, they had a TV show showing a lot of the children that were living a very good life.
So, listed as the second richest Black community in the United States. Average family income is 157,000, which isn't a lot for California, but the homes are 1.1 million. Baldwin Hills has been the home to Ray Charles, Allison Felix, John Singleton, Tina Turner, and Ice Cube. So next is Kettering, Maryland. I'm going to move a little faster with this. And 90% of the residents own homes, and it's mostly Black. Fort Washington, Maryland. I do know that is outside of DC. Again, a lot of this stuff is in Prince George's County. Next is Uniondale, New York. I don't know, Stephanie, if you're familiar with Uniondale. I don't know that much about it. It seems like more of a blue-collar town based on what I was reading, but it's known for its affluent Black community. Next is Hillcrest, New York. And next is Ladera Heights, California.
See, Maryland is dominating the New York and California, places where there are jobs, a lot of government jobs and other types of jobs. Atlanta, is known for a lot of affluent Black people. And every state has certain parts of it where, there's the higher class and the lower class. But, sometimes in the South, I have to tell you, there's nothing there. There is no good jobs. The best jobs in town still ain't paying nothing. But also a lot of places where there's less education of Black people, they make an extreme amount, low amount of money. So I guarantee you most of these places where the Black people are making this kind of money, they're very educated more than likely. And they probably, if they're not in the medical field, they're probably in government, especially around Maryland and stuff like that in the DC area. But that's not always the case, but I guarantee you there's a high amount with those types of jobs in those fields.
Lake Arbor, Maryland, another Prince George's County. Rosaryville, Maryland.
Maryland, Maryland, Maryland.
And that's it. That's the conclusion.
It's also kind of disturbing in a way that only one Maryland, and I'm happy. Maryland's on the list, Washington, California, New York, but Maryland dominates, and that's just one area. That's one Maryland. Come on now. There's 50 states in the U.S. Black people are scattered everywhere. The most money where Black people are doing well and dominating is in one place at large compared to the others. That's not good because Black people dominate the South, and a lot of the South is poor as hell. There's nothing, if they do, you can live well in the South, but you're not going to be making a lot of money. But if you're not educated, a lot of times you don't get to make better money.
So either, ladies, we're going to build it, or we're going to have to, if you already make enough income, you'd have to move to it. If you don't make enough income, you're going to need to level up your income. I'm going to read some more comments here. Many traveling healthcare workers are doing that, living in RVs and work only 6 to 9 months of the year. It looks like you all are having a conversation. In the DMV, next time I'll move, I'll definitely look into these communities. Yeah, definitely Maryland, sorry. And then Stephanie is saying, yes, it's true for New York, for the Uniondale, New York. So a couple other things I wanted to say is there's the largest wealth transfer that is happening in the country. I'm going to share my screen again. Older Americans stockpiled a record $35 trillion. The time has come to give it away. They are transferring this money to their heirs and others, including homes, businesses, and charities, right? So these baby boomers are getting older. They're about to pass on. Over the next 20 to 30 years, it's going to be about $35 trillion of wealth transferred. Their wealth is equal to 157% of the U.S. gross domestic product. Why am I talking about this? Because, ladies, when we start talking about not waiting for anybody, one of the best ways that we're going to be able to pick up wealth, pick up land, pick up cash flowing businesses is to pay attention to the baby boomers. They're going to have boring businesses, but we could go in there and we could make money. Nepotism is real. One of the big reasons why the Asians have what they have and the Latinos have what they have is because they hire each other. Now, we have to be like really, really stringent on our kids and grandkids saying, no, you're going to come in here and you're going to work this job. This is a family business. But guess what? With that, they would never, ever have to worry about who's not giving them an opportunity. This is the greatest opportunity of our lifetime.
That's why it's always good to have more than one child, because your one child might not want to work your family business. That happens a lot. They want to do something they're passionate about. They might not like the business and they really don't want it. I mean, it does happen. So you better have multiple children. Maybe one of the children will want to continue the family business, or two or three or whatever. But there's always one that usually doesn't want to do it. That happens so much.
The question is, who wants to get together and actually take advantage of it? And I'll have an offer for you. And then I'll read comments. This is a little, I'm going to call a name. This is a little shady. Tariq Nasheed. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Tariq Nasheed, but he has the Hidden Colors films and things like that. And when
Tariq Nasheed can kiss my butt. I don't know what she's going to say, but I'll put it out there. I've said it before. He can kiss my butt. Tariq Nasheed said that if you do not date biracial children who have black mothers. Only date the ones who have black fathers. That's what he said. And his wife is biracial, but she has a black father. And he's always talking about white people this, white people that, and all that other stuff. He also made the word bedwench mainstream, like all over the place. It's because of him disrespecting us black women who date other races of men, marry, have children, and all of that, disrespecting us. And he had he used to talk about pimping black women and being a pimp and all this other stuff. But he is an enemy to me, Tariq Nasheed. I don't care how many so-called pro-black documentaries he does or whatever. That man is a hater and he's a hypocrite. And his sister has a white man, but yet he's talking about bedwench this and bedwench that. Oh, don't you dare mix with a lot of black women, I ain't even gonna say it. Well, I'll say that for a whole different video, but talking about don't date the daughters that got the black mama, because he doesn't really truly like black women. I don't care for Tariq Nasheed whatsoever. A mean old thing.
I saw this video that launched this whole thought process for me. I thought about Tariq because he recently raised $1 million to open up a museum in California. Y'all can let me know if you've heard of this. And as I was listening to this, I thought, wow, $1 million could have funded a strip mall. $1 million could have funded several people launching different businesses in the strip mall. It's not that black people don't have money. It's that we're not giving the money to the right people who could actually take it and put these things together and buy towns and buy opportunities for us and our children.
Well, I've heard so many black people say, we don't need a leader. Y'all are waiting on a leader. The leaders are gone. They've been killed, and you know who killed them. They've been killed. They're long gone. You are the leader. But there are other people who feel there needs to be a head or somebody. But like I said, we all are not on the same page. And, I don't know with that. I mean, some would say Dr. Umar Johnson is the pro-black leader. And he says that himself, even though he made a video ripping Saron Suit and Seti apart over his skin complexion being light skinned. I see through it. A number of them are colorists, prejudiced towards other black people who are not as dark as them. They have a big ego. They're just not mentally well, a number of them. They're not all pro-black like they love to claim and all of that, you know. But anyway, let's move on.
We tend to give it to the flashiest person online instead of people who are actually building. And guess what? The builders are not online. So one of the things I wrote on my list is we're going to need these builders that are in these meetings to actually start coming online and start showing their work so that young people can see what is possible. What do I mean by that? I'm going to show you something else. I've forgotten to show you this.
Also, celebrity black people. The richest black people in America are usually from sports entertainment. That's just a fact. And I wonder if people ever try to reach out to them and ask them to invest in them. I'm sure maybe behind the scenes, some of them do that here and there. I know a lot of them invest in franchises or they give something to their own children and stuff, which is fine. But overall, I don't see where the celebrity black people who have all this money have a vision for black people. They have so much money, a number of them, and they don't help black people like that who are about something. If they do, we never hear about it. I'm just saying. You know, and it's been argued, do they have a responsibility to? I feel like if you're going to keep complaining about oppression and how hard it is to be black and how you had to work your way up and black people this, black people that, but yet the black people who are trying to have these businesses and all types of stuff who claim it might be hard to get a loan. I wonder, I mean, would they ever reach out to the celebrity black people or would they ever give them any money? Why does something tell me no? I don't know though. I'm sure here and there has happened, but it's not like it should be. You know, if they were really about building a new Black Wall Street, as so many of them claim they want again.
This was a meeting this weekend. Erica Williams, she's on YouTube. If you are familiar with her, she says, Black men I know in real life are off the internet were in DC this past week at the 2022 annual legislative conference. Wealthy, over 100K Black men showing up and getting real change done. This is just one of the rooms, but thousands were there. Real change is happening, not on an 8-hour live stream or foreign trips, but through real work. This is what she's saying. Here's the thing with this. First of all, I absolutely agree. Erica Williams, she's on YouTube. If you are familiar with her, she says, Black men I know in real life are off the internet were in DC this past week at the 2022 annual legislative conference. Wealthy, over 100K Black men showing up and getting real change done. This is just one of the rooms, but thousands were there. Real change is happening, not on an 8-hour live stream or foreign trips, but through real work. This is what she's saying. Here's the thing with this. First of all, I absolutely agree. Like, I don't spend all of my time online either. But I do think that these men need to be online showing what they're doing. Part of the issue is we're seeing people online and we're seeing money raised online and we're not seeing the fruits of it offline. Or the fruits of it is a museum and not something that is going to have generational usefulness. I think that these men need to be online showing what they're doing. Part of the issue is we're seeing people online and we're seeing money raised online and we're not seeing the fruits of it offline. Or the fruits of it is a museum and not something that is going to have generational usefulness.
Basically, she's saying a bunch of bullshit. Don't get me wrong, a museum is good, but
And Tariq Nasheed may see this. Some of you may be fans of his. You could send it to him. You know, I just have to suck it up. But imagine what could have been done with that $1 million. That could have had generational effect. And our community has the ability to raise tens of millions of dollars to buy a lot of different assets. If we pulled together and if we actually got focused on what we want to do, what we want to build, what the longevity is going to be.
Like I said, I mean, I see maybe 200 years or so. I mean, there is no group of black people at large talking about building a damn thing. They just talk and talk and talk in circles. I said this on TikTok, causing themselves mental illness, complaining about slavery they never went through, constantly, always talking and talking and talking. There's a few who do get together. As you can see, it does happen like that, but not in mass numbers and stuff like that, you know. So, and I find the black people who say they're pro-black tend to be very mentally ill too. That's why I don't really mentally ill, angry, racist as hell, don't understand. You will be doing business with other races more than likely in some type of way, controlling, greedy, arrogant. The list goes on. Are all like that? No, but it's something that I've witnessed for years, you know. But I won't knock all of them down or anything like that because it's okay to have a vision. It's okay to get together to try. And I support it at the end of the day for them to be able to do something, even myself, all of you watching, not knocking anybody down for trying to do better and to level up. Okay. So I do support it, but I just had to say that.
So I'm gonna read y'all final comments and then we're gonna head out. Invincible Summer, hello. I like the idea of tiny home living. True Mystique is saying, my majority black neighborhood is one I had to do research on the census tract data for our neighborhoods. I was shocked that average income was about 120. Yeah, look, when people in Prince George's County and those parts of Prince George's County, they have something to lose. A lot of those people work for the government. They have security clearances. They're not going to be out here wilding out and acting a fool. So yeah, there are black communities that are out there like that. We need more of them. You can't wait. I'm not waiting. Mokomami saying Uniondale is full of union workers, electricians, plumbers, etc. Moved there in the 50s when Levittown wouldn't allow blacks. Okay. Mary saying, ladies, the boomers are retiring and selling their businesses. No need to reinvent the wheel. Buy a pre-existing business and use your knowledge of social media to grow it 1,000%. I'm going to start doing some streams for you ladies on buying businesses. And I know a woman that actually teaches people how to buy businesses. And
yeah, franchises and stuff.
And run them without you having to be there to do it. So I want to tell Black women in NYC and in major cities, try to buy land whenever you can to help build money. If you can't afford to pay the taxes, you can always sell the land for more money. Yep. You could buy land and put a trailer on there. And, some of you would be able to work a part-time job or start a part-time business, save your money, buy the land. And then once you buy it, all you have to do is pay the taxes on it and the basic upkeep. True Mystique is saying turnkey businesses are profitable. The kids don't want their businesses. Yeah, a lot of kids do not want their parents' businesses, but these businesses are profitable. Let's say you have a plumbing business, an HVAC business. A lot of immigrants are coming to work these businesses. Appliance repair, things like that. Yeah, we would like to hire our men to do it, but if they don't want the jobs, then we got to go where the employees are and whoever wants it. Mary saying dry cleaners, gas stations, liquor stores, laundromats, etc. Yeah, Tulip. Hey, Tulip. True Mystique is saying anything that people still need in a recession. Look, I said this a couple of days ago on the live, is that there are things that people will not cut out during a recession. So for me, for example, the cleaning crew that we have, like they stay during the recession. There are other things I will let go of, but not the cleaning crew. I let go of the person doing my nails for now, just because that's not as important to me. Everybody has their thing. You're saying, unfortunately, to Tariq. Yeah. And it's not against Tariq. It's about what could have been done with that $1 million that would have had generational impact. That's what I'm looking at. $1 million is a whole lot of money. Tulip is saying we must be willing to leave certain mindsets behind completely for any of this to work.
What did I say? Mentality. Mentality. And I agree with her about home ownership, but I feel like as long as Black people remain ignorant as hell, and not all Black people are ignorant as hell, okay? But you know what I'm talking about. It don't matter. It's going to be a disaster either way. Like when we say leaving Blackistan, if you carry that mentality with you, no matter who you date or marry or where you move to, Blackistan will remain. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Blackistan is not just a location. It's in the mind and all of that, you know? So it's a lot of toxic mentality things and all that Black people need to let go of. And whenever I talk to them, I get cursed out and told off on TikTok, on here. I don't know. I don't know if it's because they don't like my delivery or because I'm a woman and it bothers them. They I notice when other people say what I say like a man, then they listen more. And I've been saying it, but when I say it, oh, you are a sellout coon woman, you hate being Black, or you're too damn mean, you're too hard, all that. I'm like, really? I'm not, no, not really, or coming for me, so let's continue.
Absolutely.
Or hold on, the famous one. If I say something that's true, who hurt you? I got to laugh. I just laugh now, like, really? And let's say I am hurt. Maybe I'm hurt by all of this, what I'm witnessing with y'all. And it's hurt me to my core. And I'm trying to talk to you, trying to talk to you. But you don't like what I say, even though it's the truth. This is why I don't go as hard as I used to, And I said maybe a good 200 years, perhaps, if they actually were serious, to get it together, 200 years. And I'm not saying this like I'm perfect. I'm not, I'll just say that. But, let's continue.
I have to trust you. I have to trust you that you are going to live by a code and I'm going to live by a code and all of us can live together. Make it happen. Mary is saying when you purchase pre-existing condition, you can use the financials to get a business loan. Absolutely. And the bank is more likely to approve the loan. Don't be afraid of getting a business loan. Yeah, the SBA loans have really good terms, everybody, especially when you're buying a business. Case in point, most if not all Black entertainers. Cinnamon Sugar saying love Erica. Yeah, I love her too. I miss her. Erica's dope. Agreed. Thank you. Lonnie Johnson and Black inventors should have social media and meetups. Okay. I don't know who those are, who that is. Wine is surprisingly profitable in these times. Look, I believe it. Any kind of alcohol. So that's the discussion for today. I felt like it was important for me to just kind of come in and level set some of the conversation, because most of it that I hear is just garbage. Men blaming women, women blaming men. The truth is that there are things that both of us need to do if we're going to pull this together. But
well, for me, I always say, and others have said it, women are responding. Men are the ones always dragging and blaming Black women for everything. It's your fault you had the kids. It's your fault the community looks like this. It's your fault. It's your fault. Then if you fund everything, you bring it up. It was my money that did it, or this and that, or we're doing this and that. Oh, you're bragging. You think you're better. Or you ain't all that with that degree. This and that, this and that.
Blaming men. The truth is that there are things that both of us.
Also, there are a number of Black women who are not interested in building anything anymore with Black people, Black men, and all of that. They're focusing on themselves because they can just see the disaster is done. I freed myself from the stress of all that. I refuse to mule or any of that for a community that honestly doesn't even give a damn about black women. Black women don't even care about black women, a good portion. That is made very clear to me every time I'm on social media. If you bring up black women, murder rates, HIV rates from black men and all of that, or you say anything, the women come in with the cape and attack you and curse you out. They don't like the truth. They don't even like black women who speak like me, or maybe even you'll get cursed out. I know that's not the case for all, but and I don't promote just dating black men. Some people feel, well, that's the only way. Whatever. I'm for the black woman. Free yourself from the stress. Get yourself together inside and out. Live your life. Contribute. If you want to help a black business, support them, promote them, all of that. If you have a black man and he's about something, y'all can do something together. I support that too. But it's going to be what it's going to be. I'm tired of the black woman being the one trying to save this race. It's ridiculous. It's stressful. It's a burden. It's unfair, only to get shitted on by everyone all the time for every little mistake you make, or no matter how much butt kissing you do, uplifting. I get tired of hearing the bull crap. I see black women every week, king this, king that. Oh, support this. They're always doing that. And all I see is the men. I ain't giving you no money. Get your own. You don't ask me for nothing. Oh, you think you was all that for the degree. You ruined the community. Keep your legs closed. Oh, but I'm not going to get married if I can't tap it on the third date. It's just a mess. I'm not dealing with it anymore with black people. I wish black people the best individually. If there was some group effort, even, no matter how different we are in our beliefs and even who we date, to get on some type of page to support each other, I'm not against that either. Again, if it ever happens, I predict a good 200 years to get at the point that the race needs to be. And I support every black person doing the damn thing as well. I damn sure do. But the question, if the men won't build, what's next? There is no other. Well, I'm not going to say I'm going to build, so I'm not putting on that kind of stress on me. It's just going to be what it always has been and what it is. Black women continuing to be left to the wind to survive on their own, doing the best they can, fulfilling their dreams, traveling. I predict more black women moving outside of this country, which is already happening, finding more happiness, making good money so that they can have the things they need and what they want. Maybe stop having kids out of wedlock with men that don't want to marry you all over the place, only for you to get blamed for the downfall of the race, and valuing yourself more. Valuing yourself more. Everything, I've been said this, everything is going to happen exactly the way it's supposed to. It did with the way we are now. Like I said earlier, participating in slavery, greatest mistake ever. And it happened exactly. Look at the race now because of it. And if it continues, what we're seeing now, everything gonna happen exactly the way it's supposed to. And it probably might be disastrous even more. Some things just have to happen. I had in my video, let them do what they want until they can no longer blame you. Sit back, shut up, stop marching. And when I say shut up, I don't mean not talking about the things we talk about. I'm talking about all that marching, always being his security guard and all that. You get no loyalty or in return, no pouring into in return. Back off. Let him do what he wants. Let him figure it out. That's what men do. And you continue to do what you need to do and what you have to do. Because seeing on a recent guy's podcast how he got so upset that black women started Black Girl Magic, honey, I can guarantee you, if y'all save the race, as they say, and are the ones footing the bill for everything and building everything up, I guarantee you a lot of them are going to resent you for that and throw it in your face and be jealous like they are of Oprah. So, but you do what you have to do, especially those of you who have children. The only answer, one of the answers, is correction. Change your damn sons and daughters' mentality, where your sons grow up to be leaders and all of that, and providers and educated and innovative and things like that. but it's not going to help. It's not going to change that much when you have baby's kids having baby's kids. The women damaged too mentally and cannot raise these leader type of men themselves. The disaster. So, and they've been begging you to stop it, having those kids all out of wedlock by them, by men who are not qualified to be fathers or your husbands, you know. But then again, if the race declines even more, then they're going to be mad at you for that. Focus on you and being better. And, you know, hopefully a blessing will happen. You'll get the right man for you. I don't believe he has to be black at all. You know, there are a lot of good looking men who aren't black. But I don't want to turn this whole conversation into swirling and everything like that. This was a great video. Thank you for tagging me. You did see the video that I have, you know, showed. And I want you guys to go over to her channel, Black Women Making Money. She has really great content and check her out. So thank you so much. I hope you all liked this video. Bye, everyone.